what lessons did you learn? Like, so as you were going through selection, we all learn things about ourselves, right? Some of those things are highly uncomfortable. What was kind of that first eye-opening moment in your selection process where you're like, oh no, this is going to take my full measure to get through this thing?
So I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't take it so seriously.
Okay. That is a technique.
So, I mean, because you gotta understand, because I was there, because I was a staff and CO at the time, but by the time I went through, I had guys that were cadre that were junior guys that were like my slack men on my team as cadre as I was going through. I remember one time I pulled one over. I said, I said, if you fuck with me on this event, when we get back, I'm locking you in a wall locker.
Everybody that's going to go into selection for the Air Force, I'm going to listen. That's a technique. I don't suggest it. You're not in the same space. The instructors are not your friend. Yeah. So maybe go a little bit softer, maybe a little bit more nuanced.
It was a very different process. I mean, I did keep being a Force Recon Marine. I knew that I know there was a long game to it, right? I had experience. I wasn't a young kid going through this at the time. So I knew what was important. I knew when to ask questions, when not to ask questions. I had a lot more experience under my belt than a lot of other people. The guys that were in my age bracket and my experience level, we all just absolutely crushed it. We got back before anybody did. We just, I'm not saying that I was the best by no means, because I've got some people that, I ran around with that were absolutely just savages. But you just right above the average level, right? And you just cruise the entire time. I trained really hard for it. And that paid off, because physically it's more of a mental, like, I have to do, I'm going to wake up and get kicked in the dick for, however many hours every day until this thing is over. Right. Yep. And that's really what it comes down to, is like having the understanding that you're going to go do this thing. It's going to suck. Eventually it's going to pass and it's going to end, but you got to wake up and lean into that suckiness every single day and be okay with that. Like be happy with it. And, so for me, with my background, I saw people kind of mentally crumbling, and I just kind of laughed. Matter of fact, one of my superpowers is when other people are super miserable, it gives me more strength.
Oh, yes. It gives me power. God, you want to see me go.
It's super fucked up, right? Because like I see these people struggling, and like they're just whimpering and they're like crumbling. And when I see that happen, it's like I'm drawing their energy off of them, and it makes me go faster. And
you get a piece of their soul.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
it gives me
David
power.
Goggins. Yeah. You steal their. God forbid, I would have people that would quit next to me, and for a second you're like, "Oh no, don't quit," and then you're like, "Wait, you quit and I didn't. I just took your power. Give me that. I'm going to need that later in this pool session."
Yeah. So the more that people struggled, that people struggled around me, just the better I got.